Hello, fans and followers of Foreverman. Welcome to video number 2 in the ongoing series that hopefully will continue from now until opening night, if I can find enough things to talk about. No, I think I can. I feel like Mr. Rogers, I feel like I'm welcoming you all into my, I should sing like, won't you be my neighbor? Anyway, I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you enjoyed the last video. What I wanted to talk about today was the opening number of the show called Home. You can find it on YouTube if you haven't heard it. Just search Brett Boles Home or Brett Boles Foreverman. Also, important to note, there is a synopsis of this show available on my website. There's also a synopsis of the show available on the Foreverman Facebook page. So if you want to know more about the story, where all the songs fit in, how the plot falls, and how it lays out, you can take a look on my website, brettmboles.com, or the Facebook page for Foreverman, and you can find the synopses there. Okay, so this song, Home, takes place in 1849. This is the present day of the show. The show has flashbacks in the first act, flashbacks to 1625 through 1627, and the present day of the show is 1849. So this song takes place in the present, 1849, in England, outside London. And Will has just returned home from 200 years of exile, which we know from lyrics that he sings in the song. And the music that begins this, if you've listened to the song, you'll recognize this. It goes like this. It's a little bit frenetic. It's high energy. He's very thrilled. He's very excited to be coming back to this mansion that he used to live in 200 years ago, to refurbish it, to make it new, to start over again, and to find this girl who you don't know who she is, but you know he's talking about her. He sings, "And I will find her," right? So there's some girl that he's looking for. So he sings, you'll recognize it from the demo. He sings, "And now we reach a new beginning of another journey. Mrs. Morgan, we are here at last. I can feel my humor spinning and my stomach churning, and now suddenly the time moves too fast." Right? And then the next set of lyrics here are different than they were on the demo. These lyrics have changed to, "As if it only happened yesterday, not centuries and more ago, and madam, I can still recall the smell of roses in the entryway, my hand against the door. Yes, I remember every room, every hall. Home, Mrs. Morgan." Get to the chorus, which is called Home. And now the music slows down to give the audience, the listeners, a little bit of a break from listening to all that quick, pattery kind of singing. The chorus slows down, and we get this kind of luxurious, romantic feeling to the sound. "Oh, Mrs. Morgan, we've come home again, back to the foundation, back to where we both belong. Home, Mrs. Morgan, we'll go home, and then we'll find an explanation for how it all went wrong, and I will find her." Right? So we know that from those lyrics, we know that something went wrong, and we also know that he will find her. We don't know who her is, but he'll find her. And now he talks about the house itself. "The house is older now than you and me. I know it will revive. We'll trim the garden where I ran and played. I spent too many years in foreign lands, not living but alive. Well, now I'm back, and how I wish I had stayed home. Da-da-da-da-dee-dee-da." So he sings that again. And sings to Mrs. Morgan about how it's been so many years, no one could possibly remember them, so they can virtually start anew. They can start a fresh life, start over. And then the scene shifts to the Fairwhite estate. We meet Fiona, who has come back from a trip to Paris with Jack, the other main character in the show. So we've got Will Timison, his housekeeper, Mrs. Morgan. We have Jack Mercer and Fiona. And we know that Fiona and Jack are together right now. They've come back from a trip. So they have a little bit of a dialogue. We hear Fiona's musical theme come in. Right, Fiona, which I talked about on the last video. So they have dialogue here. "Oh, thank you for the most wonderful trip to Paris, blah, 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 blah. I'll see you tomorrow." Okay, and then she sings her own version of Will's music. Now you remember Will's music is this, from this song. It's in this kind of minor-y key. For all the music aficionados out there, it's in G minor, right? And then for Fiona, we turn that minor theme on its head. We turn it into a major theme. She's singing pretty much the same music. It's just it sounds a little different because her outlook on life now is a little bit springier. So she sings, and now I reach a new beginning of another journey. How wonderful to find a home at last. I can feel my humor spinning and my stomach churning, and now suddenly the time moves too fast. Right? And now she sings different lyrics than what you'll hear on the demo. This makes a little bit more sense since in this version of the show, she's really not in love with Jack. Well, you'll hear, she sings, it's like I'm standing on a cliff about to leap into the air, but Jack's dependable and Jack is smart. And as I'm landing, I don't have to wonder if he will be there. He's the safest man to hold my heart. Right? He's the safest man to hold my heart. Not the only man to hold my heart or the best man, but the safest man. So there's a spark in that relationship that's missing for her, which is why she sings the words that she sings. And then she sings the same music that Will sang. Home, yes, Fiona, you are home again. Back to the familiar with a splash of something new. Home, yes, Fiona, you'll go home and then maybe Jack will be the man to make your dreams come true. She's not totally convinced, but maybe, right? So there's the idea here that because she's singing the same music that Will sings, that there's this connection that's made in the audience's mind that maybe Will has something to do with Fiona. Maybe they belong together in some way, that they're going to have something to do with each other throughout the course of the show because they sing the same music. So it's a little psychological trick to play with the audience to make sure that they make that connection in their head. And then after Fiona sings her bit, then we go to Jack. That's Jack's theme, which I talked about on the last video. And he sings, on the demo, he sings, how strange that when I kiss her hand, it almost seems as if she knows, but that's impossible, she can't, for after all, it's been a long, long time now. Those lyrics with the rewrites that I've done don't make sense anymore, because he doesn't, in that version, he knew that Fiona had been reincarnated from the 1600s to now. In this version of the show, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that it's the same person, even though she reminds him of that person. So now he sings, Fiona, you remind me of another time, another love. It can't be you, I know, but still, I see her hiding right behind the mischief in your eyes. What are you doing here, Jack? You'll never love her like that. And she deserves a man who will, a man to hold her in his arms until she dies. Then we go back to Will and Mrs. Morgan, who are cleaning up the mansion. Mrs. Morgan is on a mission to rid the house of dust. And Jack tells her to rid the house of all the clocks, because they remind him of living forever, which for him is not a good thing. He doesn't like to be reminded of that fact, since it's been a little painful for him the past couple hundred years. So he sings that, and then he and Fiona sing back and forth together, this little home section. Home, ba 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 ba. And Will sings, I had forgotten what the air was like, the smell of English fern. Right? He's back, he's happy to be back. And then all three of them sing together. Jack sings this, one more beginning, one chance to love, but time moves too fast. Now Jack never sings that home music. He never sings it. It's really only, it's written for Fiona and Will, so that the audience makes the connection between the two of them. Jack is kind of a separate entity. So by not having him sing that theme, it subconsciously clues the audience into the fact that maybe there's something else going on that he's not really a part of. And then they all sing the last chorus of Home together, and they end on the nice big belty note, because you got to end the first number with a bang, right? So, because it sets up the rest of the show. So anyway, that's Home. That's the opening number. I will do more videos on other things that I'm not exactly sure what the next topic is going to be, but I'll think about it, and I will let you all know. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all very, very soon. Thanks. Bye.